What I'm going to talk about in this video affects more people than you would think. If you have suffered or know somebody who is suffering from Lyme disease, I want you to know you are not alone, and I hear you. I am from Alberta, Canada, northern Alberta, and Canada supports Lyme disease in the aspect that it's curable by antibiotics, early stage, or what they like to call post-treatment Lyme disease syndrome, chronic Lyme. I'm going to refer it in this video as chronic Lyme because that's what it is. A spade is a spade. I want to thank you for watching this video. The silencing that we are forced in Canada, never mind Alberta because we don't have ticks in Alberta, but I'm pretty sure people from Alberta travel, but whatever. What do I know? The silencing has to end. I'm done. I'm done sitting here hurting and in pain and not doing anything about it. So this is my thoughts on what I can do. And before I get going, if you're watching this and you get something from it or it makes a difference or you share it, I just want to say thank you. If you are a person that does not believe, or you want to put a negative comment or anything, or you're thinking, oh, she looks fine, well, curling iron and makeup make a difference, and medication. But if you're one of those negative people, keep scrolling. Don't bother with the comments. I'm going to delete them. That's all I'm saying. If it makes a difference to you, please share it. I don't want to be quiet anymore about this. So I'm just going to dive in. I want to say thank you to Robert Kennedy Jr. for the roundtable in the United States, December 15th. It was an emotional day for me, being a Canadian. Super happy for those who suffer from this illness in the United States. Super sad for us Canadians and Albertans because I have to go to my doctor and hear I have side effects from being cured from Lyme 10 years ago. I'm crazy. It doesn't exist. My blood work means nothing. Everything that you can imagine. But I am so happy for those in the States. I hope it trickles to Canada, and maybe we'll have education for our doctors. Maybe we'll have coverage for treatment, diagnostics, anything. Anybody who hasn't watched the roundtable, I suggest you watch it. Dr. Oz was amazing. Shout out to him. Another shout out to Donald Trump. I don't care who hates him. He had to sign off on this. Thank you, because I feel like you're going to make a difference. And from someone that has dealt with this for a long time, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. I'm going to give a little bit of background. I started having pains back in 2015. Joint pain, fatigue, hair loss, stomach issues, the list goes on. 2 years, specialists. Everything was yes, but no. I don't understand. It's confusing. 2018. I discussed with an old employer what was going on, and we found a tick testing kit at a pharmacy, at a local pharmacy. I went and I took it, and it was instantly positive. And I will show you a picture of said test. That's it. And that's my instant positive result. Took it to emerge. At this point, one doctor already told me that he wanted to put me in a psychiatric ward for thinking I have Lyme disease. Okay, here I am taking a chance. I go into emerge, I wait. Doctor comes in and says, what can I help you with? Okay, so you're gonna think I'm crazy, but just bear with me. I give him the test, And he's like, what is this? And I said, it's a tick testing kit, but I tested my own blood. He paused. He looked at me. He said, what made you think to do this? I said, I don't know. It's my last resort. I've spent 2 years in an extreme amount of pain, not understanding what's going on. Doctors, specialists, traveling, you name it, and no answers. So this was my last hope. Because I think I have Lyme disease, but I don't know, and I don't know how to test for it. He looked at me and he said, it was the smartest thing I could have ever done. And he grabbed both shoulders and he said, I believe you. And I broke down. And I asked him why. And he said, because I have it too. That was a turning point. I knew that hopefully something was going to happen, but he was also learning about it at the same time. So we decided we would learn it together. We would learn about it, we would try stuff, we would do all the things. And at that time I was on a steroid, and he told me if I don't quit the steroid right now, it will do major damage that I will never recover from. So I had to stop. Instantly I started antibiotics. Him and I worked well together. I was doing ozone treatments, vitamin treatments in Calgary, and I've done that for 10 years, keeping it at bay. In there, I also, in 2018, got my blood taken, sent to Germany with Armin Labs, and brought back. And I have 2 strains of Lyme, which is rare, and we couldn't figure out exactly what works, so there's a lot of trial and error in there. Don't get me wrong, it is what it is at this point. I knew what was working, and I knew what my body responded to, which was ozone, vitamin treatments, antibiotics, if I had flare-ups, like really bad ones. So that has been what I've done since 2018. Recently, I have gone to my doctor in October because I lost sight in my right eye, and it was like a kaleidoscope. So I went to my optometrist. My optometrist sent me for an emergency appointment in a city hours from me. Went there. They were unsure. I told them I have Lyme disease. Well, then they started Googling. That was fun. Long story short, my symptoms got worse. I have a lot of problems, and I've done some routine blood work, which I'll dive more into. And the best part is my family doctor says I have side effects from being cured from Lyme 10 years ago. My question with that is, so a cancer patient goes and gets treatment for cancer, gets to ring the bell. 10 years later, they're sick again. They come in, their blood work says they're sick with cancer. You bring them in and you tell them the cancer's back and they're out of remission. You don't tell them that they have side effects from having cancer 10 years ago. Are you kidding me? So why is this any different? It's because this is what Canadian doctors, Alberta doctors, have been told. They are uneducated, they are misinformed, you name it. Not even getting into that part yet. And right now my current pain management and pills is actually the exact same as a patient undergoing chemotherapy. So, and it's not working. So that's fun. And everyone, you go online, you ask people, and it's constantly try this, do this. And the thing of it is everybody's so different. But the reason everybody's so different is because everybody's trying different stuff. You need to strip the immune system and then rebuild it. Antibiotics. So you need a medical doctor and a naturopath doctor to kind of work together. But that doesn't happen. Not here, not Alberta, not Canada. Doesn't. In the States, in other countries, yes, it does. Weird, and it works. For every Lyme patient, there might be some adjustments, and I'm not saying I'm a doctor. However, facts are facts, and that's what I'm sticking to. It makes no sense. So with everything, I'm off work. And even before being off work, about a year ago, actually, I'm not even going to get into that part yet. So we're going to go through all my symptoms that got worse, like rapid fevers, seizures, loss of movement on the right side at random moments, falling down the stairs, blackouts, extreme pain, tremors. This eye sometimes won't even function. It will go like super small. Ear and pressure pain, head pain. I get like a crackly noise in my ear. Swelling of joints, like excessively. So like this is where my doctor, I do all this blood work. One, doesn't get reviewed. Positive ANA. They're sending me to a rheumatoid doctor, but I haven't heard back, and that was in November. Okay. I know it takes time, but if I paid for it, right, it would work. And I have lesions, I get told. So I had routine blood work done just to make sure, because my doctor everything went strictly to basically almost a neurologist crossed with an optometrist. I forget what they're called. Doesn't matter. So I get ordered some routine blood work just because. Well, that opened up a whole can of worms. A kidney infection. My body was in a ketosis state. I was losing weight like insane. I was huge hair loss. And then I had an ultrasound, and I have lesions on my liver. So like 1 year ago, just over a year, I had an abdominal ultrasound, and I had one lesion that I've had for many, many years. One. But all of a sudden, in just over a year, it's doubled in size. I have two more ill-defined margins and more blood supply. Okay, so we need a CT. Go for CT. Confirm those two things. But I just don't have the like shadow imaging, white imaging. So it's not cancer. Do you think my doctor wants to figure out why lesions are occurring? No. Can Lyme cause lesions? 100%. Why? Because Lyme is a bacteria. Lyme can cause a lot of different stuff, but we're not gonna acknowledge that. So that just became a dead issue. So we're gonna keep moving on. So I've reportedly nonstop, actually over years and years, have reported that I have heart palpitations. It feels like my heart stops and starts at random. Painful. It makes me super exhausted, out of breath. Talked about this. Can Lyme do this? Yeah. So my doctor sends me for an echocardiogram and a 24-hour heart monitor harness thing. I say to him, I'm like, you have me on an anti-inflammatory, and the only reason that this stuff ever in the past has happened is because I have inflammation surrounding my heart, which causes it to beat irregular. So if I'm on an anti-inflammatory, how is the test going to be effective? Oh yeah, that's right. We'll just see what it comes up with. Okay. I'm telling you right now, I have the heart stuff. It happens at random still, but you would have to literally put a heart monitor on me for probably 3 weeks. You'll catch it, but 24 hours is not going to do that because I'm on a very strong anti-inflammatory twice a day. Okay, so what do I know? Neurological. Here we go. Here is the fun one. I know and I feel in my gut that I have neuroborreliosis. I can hardly pronounce that. Doctors are convinced I don't because they don't understand or don't want to test for it. But if you look at my blood work, you look at everything in between, what I need is a spinal tap, and they won't do it. They do a spinal tap, I get 28 days of an antibiotic, and I can go see a naturopath and I can get treatment, but they won't do it. It is severe headaches, fever, stiff neck, sensitivity to light, which is my worst one, numbness, tingling, burning, shooting pain down here, brain fog. I don't remember much, and extreme tiredness. I'm always tired, but I don't have it. It doesn't exist. So I sit there and I have no clue what to do. And stay tuned for later videos, but I'm hoping to put on a Lyme event of some sort. I'm not saying any details right at this time, but if I do, in this, I have found out about a doctor in a city 7 hours from me, but you need a referral from your doctor to go there. So I did that. He gave zero information. Got denied. Neat. Not surprised. So I sent a letter after paying $60 to fax my own, because they don't email, you can't call, nothing, fax. Spent $59.50 actually to fax it over, my own story and my own justification, because that's the point where I'm at. I am going to do this myself. So I'll do another video and let you know the outcome. I just sent it today. Friday, I'm going to dive right into it. The CRA is getting a letter and documentation in regards to disability tax credit. I applied once, got denied. Second time, and it kept getting postponed month, got denied again, because I don't have two of the main categories that are 90% all the time. But, so here's the thing. I gotta read it word for word. So the CRA focuses on the effects of an illness on a daily basic activity, such as walking, mental functions, and dressing, rather than the diagnosis itself. Okay? But for Lyme disease, it's generally considered difficult to obtain due to the invisible nature of the illness and requirement of the objective evidence. I'm pretty sure I have all that. I have all the tests. I have positive tests. I have tests of 10 years. I have emergency visits. I have letters from professionals who have been treating me for 10 years. And it's still not enough. Why? Because Lyme disease changes day to day. Today might be my joints. Tomorrow I could fall down my stairs. The next day I might not even be able to get myself dressed. It changes. But does it affect your day to day? Yes. Every day, 100%. Never mind the mental illness factor. And if you look at my disability forms that my doctor filled out, they're not the greatest. However, there are 4 categories that my doctor has stated it affects me, but it's still not enough. So this is where it brings the other thing. But if you look up Lyme disease, they will admit the fact that Lyme disease, or post-treatment Lyme disease syndrome, will and can cause chronic debilitation, which many patients experience severe chronic symptoms, pain, fatigue, neurological issues that significantly reduce their quality of life, but they don't acknowledge this, sometimes leading to severe depression, mental illness problems because you're never heard, or even requests for MAID. Are you kidding me? MAID, medical assisted death, basically. I forget what it actually stands for. Medical assistance in dying. Yeah, that's it. So then I looked at this. So there have been reports, a woman in Quebec after 8 years struggling with Lyme. Okay. I'm almost at 11. And extreme pain, inability to tolerate food or light, and weight loss. That's a portion of my symptoms. She applied for MAID and it got approved. So what you're telling me, government, is that you are more willing to approve, probably after paying $160 for a form, let's be real, to approve MAID than you are to get a tax break. What? So you're willing to kill somebody over giving them a tax break because I'm fighting tooth and nail for disability tax credit for 10 years. And yes, there is a sum for back pay, which is a pretty low amount considering. But I could go to my doctor right now because it's mentally affecting me, it's physically affecting me, it's emotionally affecting me, it's financially affecting me because I have to pay for all my forms, all my normal treatments, extra testing, like faster testing if I want it faster altogether. I have already maxed out my healthcare spending account with my employer, and it reset January 1st because I got an MRI early instead of waiting until April. I have submitted my doctor's notes for my employer and for the government, and I don't get those back because I'm deemed Lyme medically, so I can't get any tax reimbursement, but yet like none of it adds up, all in all. It blows my mind. And I've looked at, and I've gotten quotes from out of country, all included, including covering my bills in Alberta while I'm gone, $40,000. So if 10 years payment, lump sum, disability tax credit, $27,500. I've done my research. That would almost cover my treatment out of country. If I had a doctor that would hear me, look at the whole picture, and actually do the proper treatment and get educated, probably would cost me maybe, because of the naturopath, $3,000-4,000. Or I get tired of all of this and I just apply for MAID. And then it doesn't cost the government or anybody anything. But then my kids are without a mother. My friends without their friends. And that's okay. And that sits okay with doctors. And trust me, I want to apply for MAID just to prove a point, because I guarantee I can get it approved quicker. And without more headache, more stress, more work than getting a tax break yearly. Really? You can't help but laugh. You can't make this shit up. And then I sit there and I wonder about, like, it sounds stupid, but you think about Avril Lavigne, just like Justin Bieber's, Shania Twain. They are influencers that could make a difference in Canada. Spread the word, help people, literally help people. And where are they? They're getting treatment in the States. That's where they are. So what do? You sit here and you wait and you debate between life and death, and you have to look yourself in the mirror every day as you're in excruciating pain. And as you're trying to put on a face and take your medication and don't leave your house because you can't drive unless you have doctor's appointments or the grocery store, but someone's got to pick you up for those. And you sit there and you debate it. You debate how much longer you can go through this. And it's hard. I have to look at my kids. And that's the only reason I'm doing the video, because honestly, my kids want me to do the video to spread awareness, and hopefully other people with Lyme, or you have people you love or care about that have Lyme, just do a video. You don't have to do it 20 minutes. You can do it 5, 2, post it, share it, tag every single person in the province that you can think of that you're from, and Canadian. And don't be quiet anymore. It's not worth it. The States, people won there. They finally have been heard. So why can't we be heard in Canada? I don't understand. And I feel like if we band together we can. I do plan on doing a interview, hopefully with one of my children. I'm going to do update videos on the progress of the rejection letter, the rejection of DTC, the updates of the event once I'm allowed to share it. I'm going to be posting it. I do want it to be huge because it's important. It's so painful. I sit here and I don't understand, like, it's in writing, like, so many things that I need, and they just don't do it. And you get told, oh, your doctor doesn't have time at your next appointment to fill out your new paperwork for work, plus go over the 5 results of the test he sent you for. Cool. Okay. So me getting paid is more important, obviously. It's just horrible. So, if you have questions and you want me to answer, I will do another video. Share it. Stop being quiet. Everybody tell their story. That's the only way. Make noise. We have to be loud, especially in Alberta. I just want to thank everyone for watching, for caring enough to watch. And I hope we get the answers we need and the results we need eventually and sooner than later, because I do not want to read that the highest request for MAID is from Lyme patients, because they're willing to admit Lyme patients apply for MAID, but they're not willing to acknowledge it medically or for disability. They're not willing to do anything, and this is the only way. So thanks for watching. I hope it helps, and stay tuned, I guess. Take care. Bye.